I was ready to make the first person I met after landing on the island tonight. But after she kicked me away, she picked up the longsword that had fallen to the ground, killed my servant first, and then slit my throat with a single stroke. Then a flash of blue light suddenly appeared, and somehow I came back to life. I even started to feel like I was the son of God. But soon, my servant came back to life too. Then the girl told us that everyone here is immortal. The moment I found that out, I immediately decided I was going to conquer this place. Even though my army had already been completely wiped out in the storm before this, all I had to do was kill the king here myself, and everyone else would naturally surrender. But the instant I finished striking my pose, I found myself revived on the beach again. Since no one could die, I decided to keep fighting for power. The king, though clearly exasperated, still chose to accept my challenge. This time, I suggested we decide the winner with a game of chess, but I still wasn't a match for him. Even so, I challenged him again and again, and every single time, I lost. After suffering countless crushing defeats, I started to doubt myself, but I was completely unwilling to accept that I was a loser. So I took all my frustration out on my servant. I grabbed him and hurled him away. I was going to defeat the king and conquer this place. So I went to the dark temple on the far side of the island.
What do you seek? Dominion and the power to seize it.
Anyone who walked into the cave and sacrificed a part of themselves could gain power in return. I began sacrificing pieces of myself over and over again in exchange for new weapons and equipment. After giving up almost everything, I finally collected a full set of dark gear. Once again, I was filled with confidence and prepared to challenge the king. By then, my servant had already become one of the king's advisors. But when I charged through the gates, they simply chose to ignore me. That humiliation made me unleash my strongest attack on the spot, but it didn't do any damage to the king at all. With just a few moves, the king easily tore the dark armor off my body. But then, to my surprise, he simply took off his crown and threw it to the ground. It was nothing more than a throne handed to me out of charity. My former servant reached out a hand to me.
An eternity of second chances.
But all I did was pick up the crown from the floor and run out of the palace. The disappointment in my servant's eyes was impossible to hide. The king opened a box beside him. Inside, it was filled with glittering golden crowns. I ran to the shore, used a small pool of water as a mirror, and put on the crown I had wanted so badly. But I felt none of the joy I had imagined. It felt like I had lost something far more important than the throne. So I let go of my obsession and went to the girl. I asked her to teach me how to forge. As the days passed, I used that crown and personally forged a prosthetic limb for my servant. That was when I finally understood that the true meaning of being a king is not to conquer, but to protect.